Godfather of the virus drill. Shout out my boy DEMEGODTV.
It's Wave God in this motherfucker. Hey, shout my nigga Demi T though.
Got the song pop like I'm Iggy. All they talking about is last night like I'm Demi. Say you got.
Rupees donated $5. Damn ski pulled the Michael.
Let's see what the
What's up, Dean TV, Dean Nation, Dean from Gang, Dean Family, Dean Mafia. Today, we're doing a reaction to the top 10 terrifying flesh-eating things found in nature. And if you're new to the channel, like, comment, subscribe, and share the video on all social media. And comment below what reaction you want to do and check out the original video in the description box below. Road to 100K, a million, and a billion. So click the subscribe button. Let's birthday as a family, as a nation. Check out the merch. Go copy something you feel. Show your boys some love. And we're going to see what they talking about, you feel me? We're going to educate ourselves and be aware of some things in nature so we can avoid it, so we won't have to encounter these, you feel me? So we'll know what to do. Let's get into this reaction. Hope everyone well and safe through this pandemic.
All over the world, people are switching to plant-based diets, from veganism to vegetarian, to decreasing their amount of meat intake, or deciding just to go pescatarian, which is only eating fish. But many other living things found in nature don't have the same plans. In fact, many different types of living things, other than humans, actually thrive on the taste of juicy, tasty flesh. Hey everyone, Dewey Stewart here with quite the off-putting and somewhat scary list today. Today we are looking at the top 10 terrifying flesh-eating things found in nature. If you thought humans and carnivores were the only ones who love their juicy, fleshy meat, you are sadly mistaken. So without
How many of y'all thought that? Because I know I wasn't the only one.
any further ado, let's get to it. Starting us off in our number 10 spot is the Venus flytrap. Many of us are probably well aware of this carnivorous plant, but if you aren't, this is a fun one. Well, it's always fun, but this plant can be found in North and South Carolina, but has been introduced to other states such as Florida and New Jersey. I think you can even still buy them in a few places and even have one in your home. I don't know, just wondering. I used to have one. Anyway, these plants usually grow in moist, acidic soil that is poor in nutrients, and funny enough, they don't only grow from water and sunlight, they also, just as their name states, feast on flies. Their mouth or trap is made up of two large lobes at the end of each leaf. These lobes are lined with small hairs that, when tickled by spiders, flies, or other small bugs, they will slam shut. But each plant can only do this a few times before the plant completely dies off. So it's not having any buffets, in other words. It is also not a very hungry flesh eater, as it can go months between meals, and it takes about 3 to 5 days just to digest one meal anyway. So while this may not be the big bad flesh eater you thought it might be, it is to little insects of the forest. So who knows what would happen if one ever...
Yeah, it definitely is. Like, you got a bug, you just surround yourself with some Venus flytraps. I'm like, bro, they'll catch them all. Simple.
That could be scary. Coming in at number 9 is another carnivorous plant. We have the sundews. Sundews are also called flypaper plants because, just like the Venus flytrap, they are known for feasting on the flesh of tiny bugs, such as flies. They can be found in most of the United States and prefer bog habitats that lack nitrogen within the soil. These plants have large tentacles that protrude from their leaves and have a sticky gland at the tip that sticks to its prey. They also exude nectar to attract its prey, like the sneaky bugger it is. And once the fly is caught in the sticky tentacles, it releases enzymes to start digesting its trapped prey immediately. These tentacles will then wrap around the bug and begin to smother it, so a bit more deadly and scary than the Venus flytrap. These plants can grow up to 10 inches in length as well, which is big enough for me. Coming in at our number 8 spot, we have the Nepenthes bicalcarata, or the much easier name, the pitcher plant. This specific plant is a cousin to the many different types of pitcher plant that is found within the wild. They can digest bugs to many different sizes, to even small frogs that can climb inside. Sorry, froggers. Many of them look like mini pitchers that a server would bring to your table at a restaurant, but this one is slightly more lethal looking. These plants can be found all over the place, from China, Vietnam, Australia, and even Madagascar, just to name a few, but this specific type was found in Borneo. Qian Li, a young American field botanist, found one of these amazing plants and recorded its appearance. It feasted on a cockroach, thank God, get those things out of here, and had a red-lipped mouth opening that the roach was trapped in. Then had 2 fang-like teeth hung over top of its opening that
Some of
threaten its
these
prey,
plants
even if
cut.
it tries to escape. Now, I don't know if the fangs actually do that or if it's just an intimidation thing, but nevertheless, if you're a bug and you find yourself on one of these things, I think you better
over.
prepare for a
It's up.
sweet death. Coming in our number 7 spot, we have protozoan parasites or leishmaniasis. This is a type of flesh-eating bacteria that can arise from small, tiny bugs called
This is interesting. Very interesting.
sandflies that
This shit acting retarded
called
right now. I'm sorry,
sandflies that bite
everyone.
people and different animals. Leishmaniasis is the result of protozoan parasites which are transmitted by the bite of infected sandflies. Back in 2017 in Panama City Beach, Florida, Laura Gaither noticed that these tiny sandflies were biting her leg until she flicked them off. They also bit her children too, but they only looked like mosquito bites, so she didn't really worry about them. These bites slowly morphed into larger open wounds though, so she rushed her kids and herself to the hospital. Doctors claimed it was only eczema on first inspection until later it was confirmed that it was a case of leishmaniasis. These infected sandflies can be found in tropical and subtropical areas, so next time you're at the beach, especially down south, maybe keep an eye on your skins for some slimy, nasty bites, because it could get gross. Coming in at our number 6 spot, we have Vibrio vulnificus. Vibrio is a rod-shaped bacteria found in
that's disgusting. Oh my gosh. Sheesh. Be careful, everyone.
and balmy coast waters all around North America. It has more than 70 species, but its most deadly is definitely the vulnificus species. This bacteria can kill 1 out of every 5 people who contract it. Its toxins can attack flesh, which then turn into sores into large, gaping, and painful wounds. The worst part about this one is that this bacteria is beginning to flourish thanks to climate change. It thrives in warm waters and is affecting Americans who can swim, fish, and work in coastal areas more than ever before. Cases have doubled in the last 11 years and seems like it will only continue to rise. So if you weren't so sure on this already proven climate crisis that we are in, maybe a flesh-eating bacteria will finally get your butt in gear. Only takes a man-eating microscopic organism for some people to take a global climate crisis seriously. If that's still not enough for you, then I have no idea what to tell you. Coming in at our halfway point and at number 5, we have beetles. Yeah, remember the popular rock and roll band? Well, I'm kidding, they didn't eat humans that we know of. But you know what? There are some flesh-eating beetles out there. Flesh-eating beetles known as dermestids are actually nature's forensic scientists. Why? Because these type of beetle, among other bugs, are one of the strategies that researchers and scientists will use to clean up animal remains that are rotting away. They will release these bugs on a rotting carcass, and these bugs will happily eat away at the decomposing meat until there's nothing left on the bone structure. Now, even though these little gross bugs can be found in the wild and seen eating long since dead creatures, they can also be found within the floorboards and walls of many people's homes. They have been also known to expand their diets to old books, carpets, or woolens. From what I can gather, I don't think they will come eating any humans unless you are a zombie or currently decomposing, but nevertheless, we all know how much Dewey hates bugs. So even if my answer is not quite out there yet for this one, I don't want to know. That one is up for you to look up. Coming in at number 4, we have the siafu, also known as the army ant. These ants can be found in Central and East Africa and can form colonies of up to 20 million individuals. 20 million! These guys are most dangerous to humans during times of drought and can form columns of 50 million strong and cross the country on an expedition for food. They can go at about 60 feet an hour, so they're not going that fast. But they are guarded by these ants that have gigantic heads with large pincer mandibles that can pinch, bite, and are incredibly strong. Even if you tear one apart while it's attached to you, these pincers will not let go. How fun is that? They typically feed on earthworms, but have been known to feed on small mammals too. I don't know if they have ever eaten a human being at all, whether they be alive or dead, but let it be known, we are mammals. And if fast asleep on the ground in East and Central Africa, I'm sure these guys wouldn't have anything good in store for us. So let's just steer clear of these guys, and I will never be visiting that part of Africa in my life. I'm sorry, guys. Starting us off in our top 3, at number 3, we have big cats. Back in the early 1900s, there was a female tiger that reportedly killed almost 400 people in Nepal and India. They called her the Champawat tigress. Now, this was recorded over an 8-year period, which means she only ate 50 a year, so that's not that bad. But she was eventually taken down by British hunter Jim Corbett. Now, this hasn't been the last or even the first case of wild animals mauling humans. There were reports in Kenya back in 1898 of 2 male lions nicknamed man-eaters who were terrorizing the area and were reported to eating a few locals. Once again, those big cats were also taken care of by hunters. But let this be known, folks, this does not mean that big cats are bad. Big cats are animals just like all of us, and they need to eat to stay alive. When us humans interfere with its natural habitat and also threaten these creatures, what do you think's gonna happen? You become dinner. So admire these big kitties from afar. Thank you very much. Coming in at number 2, we have Gustav the killer crocodile. Just like big cats, we should also admire these killer crocs from afar. Ever wonder how they got their name, killer crocs? I'll give you a hint. It wasn't for their sick Call of Duty skills. A large Nile crocodile nicknamed Gustav, located near Burundi, Africa, is reported to have eaten almost 400 people as well. He is said to weigh over a ton and is about 6 meters long. Many people believe him to be anywhere from 70 to 100 years old, and he has become quite a legend in the local areas. Fortunately, and maybe unfortunately, Gustav hasn't been spotted since 2015. He's been hunted down many times and is believed to have 3 bullet wounds, which is how hunters know whether or not if it's him or not. But it isn't proven that there is just one man-eating croc. It very well could be a family of Gustavs, for all we know. But either way, Gustav is just one more reason on our list today for why I will be visiting Africa. I'm sorry. And finally, coming in at our number 1 spot for our terrifying flesh-eating things found in nature is, drumroll please, ourselves, humans. That's right. How scary is this when humans have had to make do with what they have had for centuries? This led to sometimes eating our very own. Now, luckily for all of us, this eating style is...
Humans are get lonely and desperate because humans, shit, is like, it is what it is. I gotta do what I gotta do. Shit, yeah.
Popular anymore, well, I think, for obvious reasons. But that being said, there are a couple small groups of people around the world that still eat or cook with human remains. They do this because they are usually tribes or indigenous people of the land that are not influenced by the modern world at all. And some don't even use the human remains to eat, but also use them in rituals. The Khea tribe in Papua New Guinea is one of the few. Like I said, there are a few groups of people that still eat and perform rituals with human remains, but it's not exactly proven or how or why, because most of them have no contact with the outside world. Not bad. But with that, just let it be known that sometimes the scariest things, even when it comes to meat eaters, is ourselves. There you have it. That's been our top 10 terrifying flesh-eating.
Hope you guys like that. Dean found D Nation. Like, comment, and subscribe, and share the video on all social media. And comment below what reaction you want to do next. See you guys next time. Love you guys. I'm out.